Good evening. Welcome to IQI Australia Friday Prop Talk. My name is Lee Yen. I am your host this evening. And of course, we are broadcasting live from the world number 6 most livable city, Perth, this evening. Now, since our last Friday Prop Talk, we have actually received a number of amazing numbers of subscribers to our IQI Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. So I would like to take this opportunity to thanks everyone for your support. Thank you very much, and yeah, thank you for subscribing and support our program. Now, this evening, our topic the inspiration of these evening topics come from a conversation actually. So recently, I have got asked by many people um, asking about is the properties pricing. I mean the house price, is it going to keep going up? And of course, question like this, I don't have the crystal ball to predict or to tell you it is definitely going to go up. But if you look at some of the newspaper and things that are being put into some of the information that being put into the newspaper. Recently, I have seen one that talking about they are predicting the Perth property market is going to go up by another 10% this year. But again, we are not in the position to make that prediction. But that's an interesting question. And then after that question, I usually get asked or follow on by another question is now a good time to buy? So I was thinking, yes, actually, if you are financially ready and willing and able and, emotionally ready as well, most importantly, and I think it's really any time is a good time to buy. And if your strategy is to buy and hold for long term, and anytime is a good time to buy, because regardless whatever product that you buy in the market, if you hold it long enough, it's going to grow in value. And but last but not least, one of the most frequent question that I actually get is, do you have any rental properties? They will say like, I've been applying for many rental properties. I still couldn't get into one. So that sounds like a pressing question that everyone asking about now. Pricing, whether the house price will increase, is it a good time to buy? And rental, there is literally not enough rentals in the market for our tenants. So with that in mind, I thought today, why not we invite some people come to our program to have a quick chat about this pressing topic. So I have therefore invited two of my amazing colleagues joining me tonight to discuss this topic. They are the Lee Bros. You have probably seen a couple of our advertisement done by Marco and Eric, the Lee Bros. They are actually not related, and They somehow share the same surname, and they're also both passionate about first home buyer, helping the first home buyers to get into the market. So I thought, yep, this evening we're gonna get the Lee Bros to join us to share with us some of their thought about the topic or the things that I have just mentioned about. So Marco and Eric, welcome. Welcome to join. I mean, welcome for joining us this evening. Tongue tie a bit this evening.
Yeah, good evening, Leanne.
Good
Thank
evening.
you so much for the opportunity and allowing us to share our experience and knowledge in this
It
program. That's fantastic.
it
Yeah.
is lovely. It is always a great pleasure to have you guys on here. Marco is actually our first home specialist. He is very passionate about, working with the younger generation. Look at him, you can see funky, young, knowledgeable, and he really like to work with the younger people because he knows how they think. Because I find that the younger generation, the way of thinking is a little bit different from, I'm the older group. So having Marco working with them sometimes is, a bonus. And meanwhile, Eric he actually run a very successful not real estate, sorry, Eric, a travel agent business. And Eric used to work in real estate, but he has decided to put the real estate career aside and help the family business. And yeah, and the travel agent business has been very, very successful. And recently, Eric decided that he would like to come back and, you know, come back and do the real estate again. This is the area that he is always very passionate about. So, yeah, that is Eric and Marco. And now back to the three questions that I've been kind of talking about. I'm sure both of you have come across that quite often, isn't it? Like talking about rentals to start off with. Do you get that question a lot? Like, Eric, do you have any rental property that I can rent? That sort of situation. Do you
Yeah,
encounter that?
personally, myself is a homeowner and I am an investor myself.
Mm,
And many years ago, I should say probably 3 decades ago, when I think back, my first home, and it was a struggle to get into our very first home. And there's a
mm,
lot of decision making to be done, and there's a
mm,
lot of you got to really take a brave to make it the first step.
mm. Not easy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So we've been thinking or hearing about this rental crisis very often, and people kind of use that as a common topic this day. And I actually I want when I talk to people, they really don't quite understand what is that. What is the situation really like, or what is rental crisis? So
Mm.
Marco, do you mind just to give our audience a quick insight as to what is really happening in our rental market at the moment?
Okay, so when people ask me about the housing market, I quite often start with the vacancy rates because it's useful. It essentially describes how much competition is in the market for the rental property. Whether
Mm,
you are looking to rent or looking to buy, it provides a strong indicator of what demand there will be in an investment property and whether a certain area will likely have difficulty finding the tenants. So vacancy rate of 3% is considered healthy, as is considered the balance point at which the market is evenly balanced between landlord and the renter. And
mm,
a very low vacancy rate is below 2%. And that signifies high rental demand require new property on the market to fill
mm,
this tenant requirement. But on the other hand, a high vacancy rate is above 4%, show the market has more stock available than is
mm.
required by the tenant pool interest in the suburb. So you see, for investor, a low vacancy rate environment is ideal to operate within as it may provide the following benefit. So potential greater selection of applicant that and
Mhm,
therefore greater chance for being able to select a quality tenant.
mm,
Potential for increased rental rates as the tenant market competes for living property and will not be turned off by the higher rates. And also less landlord competing for the business of the available tenant pool. So back to your question, Lian, what is really happening in the rental market at the moment? People are fighting for rental property, and they are willing to pay more just for better chance to get a lease. And why? Because they can't find a place to live. So let's look at some real figure right now. Currently, Perth city region vacancy rate is sitting very low at 1.9% compared to the same time last year. We were sitting at 2.8, which is still very low. So some area in the suburb has much lower vacancy rate. I am recently marketing a few projects in the Kennington and Beckenham area. Therefore, I keep a close eye on the rates. The vacancy rate there is as low as 0.7%. That's crazy, man. That basically means there isn't enough rental property in the market. And remember, all this happened during the pandemic time. We were in lockdown, and the border reopened in March. So what are we expecting now? You see, people are coming back, international student, holiday maker, new immigrant, and you see tourism is picking up again. And all these drive up the rental market demand. If you are currently renting, you would have felt your pocket is getting lighter, more money to spend on the rent, and not just for the rent, everything else is increasing. Grocery, petrol price, and your future house. But you see, luckily, the help from government are always here, but they won't knock on your door and ask you, hey, you need some help, mate. You need to look, you need to know where to look for the assistance. You can Google it, government website, or you are looking at one right now.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
from tenant to first home owner, there are different government schemes designed to help us Australians. Of course, it's not for everyone, but for people in need. And I think we'll cover more about this later on.
Yes,
Excellent.
amazing. Anything you want to add into what Marco have just said, Eric?
No, he's very knowledgeable, Marco, and whatever he say is really like he's been into it, you know. Yeah, he's a very fast learner, to be honest.
Yeah, it's
So
basically what you. Sorry, you go.
oh, that's okay. Yeah. So Marco has got a few good points in the matter of fact. Yeah. So people do actually fight for the rental property, but they didn't realize there's some other benefit if they can switch their thinking. Not gonna fight for rent, but fight for purchase.
Yes,
You know what I mean? So,
I like that. Yeah. So Marco, like what you said, it's amazing to hear that some of the area has gone down to below 1.7% vacancy rate. That is totally crazy. And Perth being at 1.9, that is, basically that explains why we keep getting asked by people, do you have any rental properties and that we can, we want to apply. And I have recently tried to help one of my clients to secure a rental property. She's in the US at the moment. Some of the properties I told her, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to access. So I have encouraged her to go direct, but they don't even get back to her because she's not back yet and people don't even want to entertain. And I just spoke to our property managers then. One of the tenants actually paid rent 1 year in advance. Well, maybe
Wow,
that
1
is
year in advance.
1 year in advance. I know it's a couple way of doing it. He probably want to secure it, or secondly, some people that very good in planning for their life. They want to put that money aside, make sure they have that money to cover the rent. For those people, well done to them. They actually manage it quite well. At least they make sure that things need to be paid first. But like what you say, people are fighting for rentals, and I see that the market in terms of rent, it has increased. And good news for the landlord because they get to pick the better tenant or the best tenant. Not saying that some of the tenants are not great, but you just have lots more option. All tenants are good because they want to find a place to live in. Just that come to landlord, they all of a sudden have lots more option, and can actually ask for more rent. So good and bad. So like what you have said, Eric, totally agree. Why not changing their mindset? If you really struggle going into the rental market, now will they consider buying? Now is that a good time to buy? What is your thought, Eric?
Yeah, so if may I proceed with my presentation shortly. And
Yeah.
yeah, if I can have my next slide, then I will go into these questions. What is rent or own? You know, usually nowadays the rent is not really cheap. If you're paying $500 per week in rent, basically it's about $26,000 per year. And over 26,000, over 5 years, you'll be ending up paying 130,000 of your hard-earned money gone forever, really. And imagine if the rent money, $130,000, can go into your own mortgage. That would be fantastic. And you can own your own home faster and build your own wealth. And the next is, if I may share with you some real figures. So an example that I put out for the audience tonight, if you buy a property, a 2-bedroom apartment, for example, 324,000, and you have upfront deposit, say 20%, and your loan amount will be $259,200, and the loan repayment for the year is 11 and 4, and established council rate, water rate, and strata levy and annual outgoing altogether, and on average is about $337. And your current rent will be, say, $330. You only upfront $7 on your weekly rent, and then you can own your own home rather than you paying somebody else investment. And that is my view. And with my personal financial reason to purchase, what are they? If I may have the next slide. And the main reason, housing is a leverage investment available, and you are paying housing whether regardless your own or rent. Homeowner pay debt service, pay down the principal of your own mortgage, while tenants paying down principal of a landlord. Owning usually is a form of forced saving, I reckon. And there are substantial tax benefits owning an investment property. Homeowners are able to deduct mortgage interest, property taxes from your taxable income. And owning is obviously a hedge against inflation, in my own views. And I'd like to share a little bit of my own hints and tips to the audience tonight. If you're purchasing a property, first, a few things you need to consider to obtain a pre-approval home loan. Why is it important? I think you got to know how much you can afford. If you can know it in advance, then rather than you are going to hunt for something that it might not be within your affordable area, and then especially you need to make a decision based on rationally, not emotionally. And learn buying the process from your real estate agent. And 20% deposit is usually not required if you are a first home buyer, since there is a first home loan deposit scheme available, which may assist with lower deposit, which can be as low as 5%. And also, lastly, is a professional home inspection, that to prevent any new property having any defects, and you can have them repair and fix before settlement. And that is pretty much my own experience to share with the audience tonight, Leanne.
So much sense, isn't it? Like when you think about the amount of money they put it through, and when I look at your figure just then, 500 per week, if you pay for 5 years, that amount of money, that is significant,
It's a
isn't it?
lot of money to be yeah, you can rather save it up for your own mortgage, start your
Correct.
own property portfolio sooner. There
Exactly.
is actually a lot of first home buyer. I was having a chat to my son recently. So he only just started working full time after uni. And I was just giving him a little bit advice. Why not you starting with a little bit investment before marriage? And then you save up and convince yourself and committed to make a little bit of saving. When you really get into marriage, talking about marriage, then you can actually join forces with your fiance or your wife in the future and to purchase your own dream home, you know, after that. Then you already have an equity from your investment in the first place. So that might help, quite a fair bit as well. So it is hard because a lot of young people thinking, oh, they got to enjoy life first before commitment.
Yes.
And, yeah, that is my tough conversation, with my children at the moment. It's not
Very,
easy.
very, no,
We got
very,
to
very
build
wise.
our own mindset to them. Yeah, that's
Correct.
right.
It's a very wise financial sort of education that you pass
Yeah,
on to your next generation.
that's
It is
right.
so true, isn't it? Start small and then build it up. At least you have something. Yeah. And then like what you said, the saving plan is probably the hardest, and they just kind of have to sacrifice something, not too much. You just need to put something aside. And I know
Mm,
there is few good books out there that are talking about a saving plan, teach you how to save, and even governments come up with some of the very, very nice scheme, like the first home super saver scheme. So that is something that the younger generation can look into as well. So if you're interested to find out about that or want to know a little bit more, our audience, contact us. Our contact detail is actually on the screen. So if you want to find out or get some really good advice from Uncle Eric,
yeah,
Uncle Eric's still young, hey? Call you uncle
yeah,
is a little bit wrong.
yeah. You can
And
simply Google IQI Australia. You find
yeah,
us. Yeah,
yeah. And then you can, have someone to encourage you and work alongside you to encourage you to have that saving. And also, Eric, you mentioned about the grant that the government will be able to help, the first home loan deposit scheme, and of course the
yep.
first home owner grant as well. Are you
Mm.
able to elaborate that a little bit further for us?
Yep. That is actually I've done the research for my son.
Ah, awesome.
First home owner grant in WA. We abbreviation is FHOG. It's $10,000. I think many people already know it. And what is first home buyer grant in WA? There is a little bit of catch, like 20 south of 26 parallel, which is what they are between south and north. You know, there's a boundary of Shark Bay. If many people would know Monkey Maya. So anything below south of Shark Bay, you consider south of 26 parallel. Anything above and beyond Shark Bay is considered north of 26 parallel. That is on my slide here. What is 26 parallel? Actually, I did a research myself. Value of the land, majority in the Perth metropolitan area is capped up to $750,000 to qualify for the $10,000 grant from if you are first home buyer, and you must be the qualification in our next slide. How you qualify that? It will be the grant. It's not means tested, so your income will not affect your eligibility of the grant, and you must be 18 years of age, and you must be Australian citizen or permanent resident at time of making the application, and you must occupy a home as a principal place of residence for continuous period at least 6 months, commencing within 12 months of settlement if you're purchasing a home, or within 12 months from the date of completion if you are building a home. You must apply the grant within 12 months of the completion date. So that is the requirement for the qualification. And with the stamp duty concession for first home buyer in our next slide, and home and land together, and you can actually get the concession if not over $530,000, and there will be no duty is payable if the value not exceeding $430,000. What happened is over 430 and below 530,000, then that gap, it will be $19.19 for every $100 count exceeding 430,000. And if you only just purchase a vacant land and the value must not over $400,000, and there's no stamp duty if the land is not exceeding $300,000. And again, if the amount is between $300,000 and $400,000, it will be based on $13 for every $100 if exceed $300,000. And we have got a video to show our audience tonight about the requirement and the obligation. It's quite a cute video animation that I found. So maybe, yeah, there is time to share.
Brian and Shannon live happily in their first home at 5 Up Vista Court, Coolaroo, which they bought 1 year ago. When Brian and Shannon built their first house, they wanted to know if they could get the First Home Owner Grant and First Home Owner Rate of Duty from the WA government. After checking the Department of Finance WA website to make sure they met their eligibility criteria, they applied and were successful. They discovered
to be eligible, we needed to start living in our house within 12 months.
And we needed to then live there for at least 6 months continuously.
Brian and Shannon got the keys to their new home on the 1st of July and moved in 2 weeks later. Their friend Janet bought an established property a year ago as her first home. She understood the First Home Owner Grant wasn't available for established homes, but she had a look online and learnt.
Because I met the eligibility criteria and the value of my apartment was under the threshold amount, I could apply for the First Homeowner Rate of Duty.
Janet moved straight into her house and has been living there since as her principal place of residence. This means she met the residence requirements. Their friend Mike also received the First Home Owner Grant and the First Home Owner Rate of Duty. However, before he'd had a chance to live in his first home, he got offered a new job in Melbourne. Mike wrote to State Revenue within the required timeframe to let them know. Since he couldn't meet the residence requirements, he had to repay the grant and be reassessed for full transfer duty. It's good he notified State Revenue though, otherwise he could have faced penalties. Because Mike did the right thing, he may still be eligible to apply for the First Home Owner Grant again in future. Now it's July of the following year, and Brian and Shannon have just celebrated 1 year in their property. Brian and Shannon's actions prove they have lived in the home as the principal place of residence. If you'd like to know more about the residence requirements or what is available for first home buyers, check out our other videos on our YouTube channel or have a read of our customer guide, which you can find on our website.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed that video. There's a little cute video, I reckon. Yeah,
It is indeed.
Yeah, and it's just got to be honest. If you are offered a job elsewhere, you are unable to meet the residency requirement, then you just got to pay back to the government and claim your first home at a later stage or maybe the next opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. So apart from that, there is something I want to mention in this slide here. First home loan. What is first home loan deposit scheme? If you only have a very tiny deposit, which is you are not able to make like most of the bank requirement, you got to pay 20% deposit in order to avoid the lender mortgage insurance. And this is the scheme for you. Because this government is very generous and initiate this support for the first home buyer. And basically what it is under this scheme, the eligible first home buyer will be able to purchase their first home sooner, as little as just 5%. And the rest of the 15% deposit guarantee for your home loan, it will be from the participating lender. Not every lender, but participating lender will be guaranteed by this NHFIC. What they are is the National Housing Finance and Investment Corporation, from my memory. That's correct. This guarantee is not a cash payment, but it's just a guarantee on your behalf to lend the money, to borrow the money, I should say. And the 10,000 first home loan lucky first home buyer under the places will be available during this period from July last year until current financial year 30th of June. And I really hope our government will continue with this scheme, and it does really help our first home buyer in WA. So so we're just hoping more people will be able to afford and step into their first home rather than paying rent to somebody else's investment.
Thank you so much for the sharing, Eric. It's certainly right. There is so many incentive and opportunity that are out there that we will be able to achieve owning your own home. And just quickly capping what you were sharing with us, the first homeowner grant, the 10,000, and sometimes people didn't realize that there is another portion for the first home. They only think about the 10,000 rebate, and then they are not aware of the rate of duty, which is the stamp duty rebate. So what you have just shared with us is really good information. So if you buy something, either a house or apartment, if the value is under 430,000, that is free stamp duty. You're looking at about 13 or close to 14,000 of stamp duty saving. So that is fantastic. Yeah. And also, if you happen to buy something more than 530,000, and I'm not sure if our audience have heard of it, the stamp duty rebate from the government that I'm currently offering for off the plan pre-constructed apartment. So if you buy any apartment before the construction, and the government will give you 50% of the stamp duty, give you a rebate of the 50% of the stamp duty, and you can actually be able to enjoy both. So it depends on how much you buy. So that is another extra help that the government is actually putting into. And last but not least, the 5% deposit scheme, that is another bonus. It, like what you say, Eric, it just cut down the saving time for deposit so much, isn't it? Yeah. So instead of taking, for example, 3-4 years to save up, it probably take you 1 year now. You just need to come up with the 5%. Yeah.
Yeah, it really speed up the process. Yeah, for helping the home buyer.
Big time. 20% deposit plus, versus 5. It's a huge help. Yeah. So so rental is hard to get in, and why not think about buying instead of renting? So I know a lot of the people thinking about the big Australian home ownership dream. They all want to own the properties. Is that still a dream, do you think, or is actually achievable for many of our audience? I mean, for our younger generation.
Our lifestyle, from the statistic from my memory, Australia's salary, which is really not bad. Most of the people are actually spending approximately 25% of their wages towards to the mortgage repayment to own their own home. So I think we're actually quite lucky in Australia. So it's not really that difficult to own your dream home, but you got to step by step. You got to build something from small and gradually moving on, utilize your available equity, and then to build up your portfolio from then on. It might take just a few years and 10 years and all that. So it's not really that difficult to achieve the dream, to be honest, in Australia.
Yeah, like what you said, sometimes we just have to adjust our mindset, isn't it? So the big ownership home, the big home ownership is no longer a huge house with a huge backyard. We kind of have to change our mindset to start small and then build it up, isn't it? So
That's correct.
that is so good. And I like you bring up the point about the 25%, like 25, 26 each, around that point, that people spend on the salary against their rent loan repayment. I know in some of the country or some of the places, even our neighbor at Eastern State, they'll go all the way up to 40%. So
maybe 50 or 60 even. Yeah.
Yes. So Perth people are very, very lucky in that sense that, everything is doable, especially with all the government help
That's
as
what
well.
we can see. There's a lot of people living from East Coast, from Melbourne or Sydney, and interested to migrate over to Perth. And
Very true.
that is actually a lot more affordable. They can spend extra 25% on for their lifestyle.
Yes. And I have also noticed that recently we get quite a number of inquiry from the eastern state. And I think you are working with a couple of them as well, and looking for investment in Perth because our house price is much, much lower. And so it's much, much easier to hold the properties here. Vacancy is low.
6 livable city in the world.
Yes, that's stuck in your head now. Now, I know at IQI, we have a range of property, a range of housing option that we are, sharing with our buyers. And do we have, where is Marco?
Hey guys.
We let you have a bit of rest, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just talking about the type of properties that we have that IQI marketing for our client. I mean, here we have a range of different properties. We have easy entry apartments, high-end apartments, house and land package. We even have some of the established properties that we are marketing. And talking about the established, I know, Eric, you have few listing on hand, and you are also doing a number of commercial as well. So ladies and gentlemen, people out there, if you are looking for an awesome agent, very experienced, knowledgeable agent to help out, to help marketing your properties, contact Eric. Our contact detail is at the bottom. You can contact us and say, can I please have Eric contact number? For our dearest first home young people or the hip people, if you want to get some good advice, please get in touch with our first home specialist Marco. Then he will help you and guide you every single step on owning your own home. And yes, I was talking about a range of properties. So I know that we have one or some properties that we are going to talk to our audience this evening. So can I get you, Marco, to talk us through about this property? Lovely,
sure.
easy entry.
Okay, great. Thanks, Lee and Eric, awesome sharing. So, okay, hey guys, I'm going to tell you this about this exciting project sitting on a great location and yet with affordable price tag. So, the Oasis in Beckenham. The Oasis is a development of 50 units, a third-floor apartment building with security gate, CCTV, intercom, and a resident-only barbecue and sitting area as well, located in the building. So it's 13 kilometers southeast of Perth CBD. It's about 18 minutes drive. Next slide, please. Yep. So it's 18 minutes drive. Probably still beat your food delivery time, right? So talking about food delivery, so much yummy food to choose from, right? This is also one of the things you might see when you live around this neighborhood, because it's only 3 minutes away from the biggest shopping center, Westfield Carousel, with its flooring surrounding, and the Victoria Park Food Street. It's only 11 minutes away. It's gonna be multiple choice question when it comes to dinner time. And if you are not in the mood to drive today, Beckenham train station is only 160 meters away. Having a choice is always good, all right? And Curtin University is only 10 minutes away. I think it's a gift to live in this prime location. You see the skyrocket petrol price. I wish I lived nearby to public transport so much. It could potentially save me some money and some reading time of my own on the train. So the apartment floor range from 1 by 1, 2 by 1, and 3 by 2. They all come in with one parking, and this apartment has 6 visitor car bay as well. So the apartment building size from 64.8 square meter to 82.2 square meter, and that's about $5,647 to $5,838 per square meter. Look around the market and try to beat that.
Can't find any.
It is a very, very affordable.
No, the price is just reasonable and great. Look at the location. Nothing else is better than that.
Yeah. I think when you get something that is very well located, like what you say, Westfield, where you have all your shopping needs done, your grocery, your food and everything, and it is so close from where you live, it saves a lot of time. Time is money this day. And public transport, that is a trend. It's in the future, everyone must kind of really rely on the public transport. So any properties that cost the public transport, it's really a bonus. Yeah. So yes, that's a great sharing. And you have something else that are you going to take us through the apartment, Marco?
Yes, please. I took a video just a couple of days ago. It's a walkthrough. So I would like to show you guys this apartment, the Oasis in Beckenham. So the one we're gonna show you in the video is the 2x1 apartment. Let's have a look.
Unit 303. Let's go in and check it out. Walking in, you can see a modern and compact kitchen on the left, fitted with range hood, electric cooktop and oven, glass splashback, dishwashing machine, and a stone bench top. Also notice a lot of compartment for storage as well. And keep walking, an open plan living room. You will notice the timber flooring throughout the living area, and here could be the dining area, just like how we set up the display room, or you can have your home office here as well. Carry on. You can see high ceiling with good lighting. The balcony is facing southeast, so you will enjoy some morning sunshine here. And let's check out the room. Alright, so fitted with built-in wardrobe and carpet floor, a good size bedroom with a single bed. The apartment is fitted with split system air conditioning in the living room and both bedrooms as well. And keep walking. So the tile flooring on this part of the apartment, and this is where you can do your laundry. So your washing and dryer combo, a sink, and your hot water system unit just next to it. And the bathroom, alright, ceramic wash basin and waterproof tile floor, and the full height tile showers in there. And extra toilet for the convenience. And this is the first bedroom. Check out the view. So this is what you're gonna see first thing in the morning. Alright. And lastly, we are going to check out the balcony. So the balcony is 10.1 square meter, easily to fit in an outdoor sofa, and can enjoy some family time here. Let's check out the
It's amazing, man.
Right. Alright, that's it for the walkthrough.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Let's turn back and have a look again. Alright, that's it.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you so much.
Like it? It's
We like
really,
it.
pretty decent, pretty awesome, man.
Yes, it is. Yeah, indeed.
It It is a very decent property in terms of location. It's awesome. And then when I remember what Eric has presented just then about the rental, if I'm not wrong, it's renting at around 330 per week at the moment,
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
right? And based on what Eric was saying just then, like the sharing, renting versus owning, extra $7, you
Mhm.
can be the owner of this home. I think this
Correct.
is
$7 difference only. $7.
exactly.
You
This is
can't
amazing.
find much thing about $7, man.
Mm.
2 cups of coffee, I can survive.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm also thinking from the investment point of view, it wouldn't be hard to rent out. So
Mm.
close to public transport, you don't need to own a car. Easy access to school at Curtin and work at Carousel or even working in the city because the train take you straight to the CBD.
Even just the industrial area around the nearby, it's pretty also good too.
Yeah, the Welsh Pool industrial area, correct. That is so close as well. So if first home, that's what not you're thinking, the investor can come in. We hard sell. We do first home and then investor.
Go for both markets, to be honest. Yeah, it is great apartments. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
Little
easy
great.
to hold. Yeah,
That's right.
with that sort of entry price.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you both of you for your thoughtful sharing today. And we talk about that few pressing question that people are asking, vacancy rate. So like what Marco said, vacancy rate is very low. So don't be surprised if you can't find any rentals to move into. That's literally mean not much in the market for you to choose from. And that came to our second point then. If that is the case, will you ever consider buying instead of keep renting? So come to buying, like what Eric shared before, you just need to pay extra $7. Then you become the owner of a property. Why not? Then of course there will be deposit that we need to work on and servicing, whether the bank is willing to lend you money. So that is another whole complete different story. But at IQI, we do have a team of specialists other than
Top
our first home specialist, the very experienced Eric behind us, and we also have a very experienced broker or like a group of them that we work with that will be able to support you. And a couple of the broker that we work with are very knowledgeable when it comes to this product, so they will be able to guide you through what and where and how. And come to deposit, 20% is the ideal that everyone is thinking about, and we all try to avoid the LMI, the insurance that the bank wants you to buy to protect them, the loan mortgage insurance. I mean, what the great thing is the government is giving us this 5% low deposit scheme, so you are protected. You only need to come up with 5%, which is very small amount that you can save up easily with Uncle Eric Uncle Eric ideas. Step by step follow me plan.
Maybe I should remove my moustache. Will not be an uncle anymore.
So terrible. When I say uncle, I don't mean you're old. It's the it's the life
It's the
experience.
experience now. It's the experience. It's not it's nothing about the age.
Yeah.
Correct. You can call me Auntie Lee, and I don't mind. I love that, in fact. So yes. So why rent when you can actually own? 5% deposit. You can do it if you're willing and able. So help is out there. A lot of things can be done, and don't aim big. Start small, like what we've been talking about. Start small, something that you can actually can afford, yet can enjoy. We don't need to have a big house. And then if you look up a lot of the I don't know, I have heard a lot of people talking about the right sizing these days. Downsizing is another thing, but the right sizing, and we don't need to own so many things. And the other concept that people keep talking about, the minimalism, live simple, own less thing, that might be a good concept to look into. Do we really need that space? Do we really need to burn that much energy to warm a house at this, like, very super cold night? So this is a lot of things that we can think about. So I think we will leave all these important questions to our audience this evening to think about. Yeah. I mean, there is not a big decision. There's no quick solution for all this as well, but start thinking about it. Yeah. Anything that you Marco, Eric, that you want to add in before
That was an presentation, I can tell you for tonight.
Sorry?
That was an excellent presentation for tonight. Nothing I want to add.
Of course. Eric?
Another thing to add in, really, apartment is the lifestyle for people who doesn't want to do a bit of lawn mowing, want to just spend more time doing their own stuff, hobby, rather than trying to think, this next week we're going to sweep the floor, we're going to do a bit of gardening, and we're going to do a bit of gardening cleanup, things like that, It just, especially winter season is coming, and we will get a lot of wind, especially a lot of tree leaf will drop into your gardens and all that. And it really take you a lot of time to clean up on a weekly basis.
And
so
the tree do grow bigger.
You rather spend the time enjoying your life. Since you already been very busy working Monday to Friday, why not you take a weekend off and just enjoy life rather than you got to work for your house
instead of gardening.
That would be a weekend job, to be honest.
Actually, now that you mentioned about apartment living, and our next Friday Prop Talk in 2 weeks' time, we are actually going to have a guest speaker from a strata company to come and explain and talk about strata, because I find that one of the big questions that a lot of people ask or concerned about is the strata fee when they live in apartment. That is because they do not really understand what is this fees is about. So when they have a good understanding what the strata is about, that might change their perspective.
Interesting.
So, in 2 weeks' time, stay tuned. We're gonna have a great topic talking about and good information about strata, because apartment living going to be more and more common in Perth because population is growing. We need more housing. We need to do infilling. Apartment living is going to be very common. So if you understand what you're buying, you will feel empowered. You feel comfortable. Right, though. Once again, thank you both of you joining us tonight and give us a really good insight of what is happening now, what are the helps out there, and a great product that people can consider. Easy entry, good to hold, easy to hold. Right. I try to see is there any question on our Facebook page. I haven't got any on my page. If I have missed your question, do not worry, we'll get back to you. Once again, thank you, everyone. Thank you for spending the Friday night with us. And thank you, Eric. Thank you, Marco. I'll see you guys.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Marco.
See you guys soon again. Live.
Enjoy your weekend. Happy weekend.
Bye.